Machine Pencil Cartography. Today, I want to discuss the differences between the International Maritime Organization and the International Orienteering Federation. I will first discuss how I am related to this. I have posted a video about my background in engineering design, and it shows the helicopter that I reverse engineered when I was 17. This was a formative professional experience for me, and it explains my occupational obsession with the International Standards Organization. If I could explain the importance of using universal, reliable, and ubiquitous methods for achieving any goal, I would explain that some of the benefits of having ubiquitous standards for mission achievement is that these ubiquitous techniques will form a foundation that will allow your business to consistently audit its own performance so that you can perform quality assurance within your organization, enabling your business to be accountable to its own legacy as well as to its customers' needs. After all, how could you be accountable for your business's operations without possessing documentation of your business's moving parts? We could make our businesses simpler just so that they are easier to account for. But with the assistance of ubiquitous standards and technology, we will not have to choose between accountability and complexity if our accountability is equally as sophisticated as our operation itself. I have found myself using the ISO as a catch-all for almost everything, even when the terms didn't exactly match. This has resulted in the problem where I would clobber through any problem and I would attempt to stuff my International Standards Organization ticket into pretty much any discussion. At times, this has become very perverse, and this improper match has resulted in some problems, to say the least. I had been interested in navigational topics, and I have at times attempted to use the ISO ticket to explain navigational topics. You can imagine that the ISO was not designed to describe navigational concepts. So when I found out that the United Nations also sponsors the International Maritime Organization, I was so happy and excited that it was like I was a young person all over again, and it had brought a lot of deserved closure to that epoch in my life. I had felt like I had finally accomplished the thing that I had set out to accomplish. Today, I wanted to briefly compare the International Maritime Organization with the International Orienteering Federation, as these are two organizations for orienteering and navigational discipline that will compete for each other's attention. I am proud to introduce my audience to the International Maritime Organization. The reason why I am interested in the IMO is because they are a governing body that creates formal documents that supervise navigations in the ocean. In theory, I could consume the reports created by the International Maritime Organization, and this should result in the creation of an ability to make informed navigational decisions. Some of the characteristics of the IMO are that they are an international governmental agency commissioned by the United Nations. The IMO focuses primarily on maritime navigations, and interestingly, the IMO is the governing body that has the jurisdiction to enforce the law at sea. One of its weaknesses, however, are that the IMO is sort of a government application body, and it lends itself poorly to civilian use. Perhaps for this reason, it is also appropriate for me to find a related civilian organization that is less intimidating. So I will also proudly introduce the International Orienteering Federation, called the IOF. What you should know about the IOF is that the IOF are actually an Olympic sporting committee that supervises the commission of orienteering as an Olympic sport. Yes, orienteering is an Olympically recognized sport. The IOF is a civilian-friendly, non-governmental organization that focuses primarily on terrestrial navigation. This organization is the authority that maintains the rules used to regulate the competitive sport of orienteering. They publish a document every year called the International Specification for Orienteering Maps. And they also do other things, such as keeping the official leaderboards and also enforcing anti-doping regulations. Thank you so much for your attention. This has been Machine Pencil Cartography, signing out.